everyone. This is Helena Hart, and I'm here with Adrienne Everheart again today. Welcome, Adrienne.
Hi, Helena. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm really excited for this topic today. This is actually one of the number one questions we get from women. We see it in the comment sections of a lot of our videos, and that is what to text a man to make him miss you. Maybe if you haven't heard from your man in a while, or you've been apart for some period of time and you're really missing him and you're wanting him to feel that same way about you. This is something we hear about all the time from women. And Adrienne is actually an expert in this topic. She wrote a whole ebook called 500 Ways to Talk to a Man, where she gives you specific scripts on what to say to a man or what to text him in order to really build that attraction and connection. So Adrienne, I just feel so lucky to have you on today talking about this topic. And I'd love to hear anything you have to say on what to text a man to make him miss you.
Oh, Helena, thank you so much for that warm introduction. This is something I have really studied and practiced for years now, trying to find out what it is that really triggers a man's heart, triggers his emotions, and most importantly, gets him to listen and gets him to see that vulnerable feminine side of you. Now, this is, of course, what really attracts him to you and makes the two of you create a very strong and lasting bond. And there are things you can say and text that you can send that will only strengthen that bond. Now, I do talk about these in my book, 500 Ways to Talk to a Man, but I'm going to share some real gems with you today, okay?
I can't wait. Let's just jump right in. What is the first thing a woman can text a man to make him miss her?
Part of the process of really establishing that deep and loving bond with a man is that you and this man are going to connect on some emotional level at some point in time. The two of you are going to be together and you're going to be feeling something very romantic and very special, maybe in very different ways, but it does happen. And this is something you can usually feel when it's happening. You can sense it. Now, I don't want it to be about sex, however. I want it to be more about something you've experienced with him. So there's always this moment where we take our first nice long walk with a man in a park, or you watch some little kids play, or pet someone's dog while you guys are out walking, or you go to a lake and you kayak, or you go see a very special movie. There's always some sort of moment you have with him where you really connect and it feels special. Even if the two of you have, you're broken up, and you can post this one on social media, but if you are together, you can just send it to him as a text. Now, we do not encourage you in normal terms to lean forward, do lots of leaning forward and texting the man first. But my only exception is things are going really good. Every third day or so, you can send him a message. So you would send something like this, you know, I'm feeling so warm and happy, remembering our canoe trip around the lake yesterday. It was so much fun to be, paddled around the lake and enjoying that beautiful scenery, and then end it with, what do you think? And if you can add a photo of that lake that he maybe didn't know that you took, that's even adds to the moment. And if the two of you are broken up and you're apart and you want to connect with that memory technique, you just post a picture of the lake, for example, that you visited, and say, oh, I'm having such a wonderful day at this lake today, such beautiful memories here. And so this is going to touch his heart. It's going to touch that memory place inside of him, whether you're together or you're apart.
That is brilliant. I love that. And I love that you're coming from that feminine energy place, not this results oriented trying to make something happen. So we do want to mention that if you're coming from a place of lack or trying to manipulate a man, this isn't going to work. Yes, you might get his attention for a little while, but in order to get permanent, lasting results with this, we talk about this so much in our program, from heartbroken to happily ever after. It has to be authentic, first of all, and it has to just be coming from who you are deep down. It can't be up your head trying to get a certain result from him. That's where it's a little bit counterintuitive, right, Adrienne?
Yeah, it has to be authentic. You have to be being aware of what's in your body and what is going on inside of you. Because again, that vulnerability, the very thing that you want to kind of hide from a man, is why he falls in love with you. And it's just something to remember. It's when you trip and fall down. It's when you've got lipstick on your teeth. It's when your hair's messy or you're having a very real moment and you're vulnerable. You're not just being tough. That's when he really falls in love with you. So, the second thing I want to talk about to really get a man to connect to you, a great text you can send him, is anytime he has been around you and experienced time with you, the two of you have shared again memories and very special moments. So again, I love texting images with one quick feeling statement attached. So this is a great way to connect back to that feeling of that moment you were having and that really wonderful experience. I know one night with my guy, I sent him a picture of an empty bottle of champagne, and I just made a little comment of, I'm still feeling bubbly from the night we had last night. You can use something really cute like that. And again, this connects to him. It makes him miss you. He laughs a little bit, and then the two of you can grow stronger together.
I love that. That is fantastic. So photos are great. Again, coming from that feminine energy place where you're not attached to the outcome or the result. You're simply sharing something because this is who you are, right? You are a warm, open, feminine woman. Now, is there any circumstances where you would advise not reaching out or not texting him? I'm sure you have a lot to say on that.
As so much of this is about being in my masculine energy. Am I pushing myself on him? Or am I authentically connecting to his heart in a good way? And actually, Helena, you taught me this better than anybody. And that is to just check in and ask that question. Do you know what I'm talking about?
What am I hoping will happen? Is that the right question?
Ding, ding, ding. Yes. That is
Yeah.
still my litmus test with myself, with all my clients. Am I sending this hoping something will happen? Now, here we are, we're making a video and we're telling you how to get a guy to miss you. But we want you to know that these are things you can do from this powerful place of co creation, of feminine energy inside of you by paying attention to what you feel and able to verbalize that and write that out in a text. That's very different than I'm going to send him this. And I hope he asks me out tonight. I want you to be able to send him these things coming from a very warm, authentic place in your heart. If the man is not interested and he just tosses it away, he is not the right guy for you, ladies. But again, sometimes guys need a few days to process things. They live in a very complicated mindset when it comes to relationships. They are very much about needing to know that they can provide for you, and they take commitment very seriously. So often, if the guy's quiet a little bit, it might actually be because he's working things out in his mind about the two of you. So be patient with him, but be warm and authentic.
I love that. Yeah. So just to clarify, I did a whole video on should you reach out to him, and I used that tool. What am I hoping will happen? So if you can answer that strongly, like, well, I'm hoping he'll come back towards me and start contacting more. I'm hoping he'll ask me out for the weekend. If you have some really strong agenda or attachment to the outcome or the result, it's a big clue that not to do what you were about to do, not to send that text, not to lean forward, because if you don't get the response you were hoping for, it can feel terrible, right? And the man can feel it if you have an agenda. If you were to ask yourself, what am I hoping will happen before you send one of these texts? And the answer is nothing. I'm just expressing myself. I don't even care if I hear back from you. Then go ahead and do it. Then you're coming from your feminine energy. You're not attached to the outcome. So hopefully that'll give you like a little rule of thumb or guideline of when to send these text messages. So Adrienne, would you mind recapping these texts for everybody and any last words you have to say on what to text a man to make him miss you? That would be great.
So starting at the top, a great way to connect to him and make him miss you is through a memory. You want to have either a memory that was recent with him, a moment where it felt really good. Do not make it about sex because that is a wonderful memory, but you want to make it where the two of you are engaging in something together as a couple where it's meaningful. So even if you're broken up, you can take this and use it on social media, because there's a really good chance he's probably following your social media. And I just use the example of a place that the two of you have been together. You can write, oh, it felt so wonderful to be here today and go hiking along the lake. That's the one you want to use if the two of you are broken up. But if the two of you are together, you might want to recap that memory and kind of tap into that a little bit and let him know just what a wonderful time you had and how good it felt. Now, do not write him a novella in this text message. I want it to be one sentence. Make it very brief, and you don't need to go on and on and on about all the things that were wonderful. Just pick one feeling and go with it. One or two feelings will work. And then the last one is you really want to be able to connect to something that the two of you experience, with either a pet or a person or some moment in your life that really connected the two of you as a couple. It could be an empty bottle of champagne. It could be a little pillow you were both cuddling and snuggling on one night. It could be a movie that you saw recently. This is where I want you to be aware, be in your body. That is feminine energy. It's in your body. You're identifying what you're feeling. And then you can find the words to speak that to the man and send it in a text.
I love it. Thank you so much for recapping that for everybody. And we love hearing from you too. If anyone has used one of these text messages or anything really that's gotten, that connection happening with a man, or reconnected the relationship or anything like that, feel free to type that into the comment section. Love hearing from you. And Adrienne, I'll also post a link to your ebook and the programs we did together, Heartbroken to Happily Ever After, and Find and Keep the One Without Coming Undone. I'll post links to everything in the description right below this video. So thanks for watching. And Adrienne, thank you so much for being here. I hope to talk with you again soon.